March 23, 1965, Gemini rising. NASA launched Gemini 3, marking a pivotal moment in American spaceflight history. As the first crewed mission of the Gemini program, Gemini 3 represented a critical step toward achieving the ambitious goal set by President John F. Kennedy in 1961, landing a man on the moon before the end of the decade. The mission demonstrated that the United States was advancing rapidly in space technology and was committed to leading the global space race. Command pilot Virgil Gus Grissom and pilot John W. Young flew a low Earth orbit mission lasting 4 hours, 52 minutes, and 31 seconds. The spacecraft, nicknamed Molly Brown by Grissom as a nod to the Broadway play The Unsinkable Molly Brown, following the sinking of his previous capsule, Liberty Bell 7, achieved an altitude of 139 miles and a maximum speed of approximately 17,500 miles per hour. Launched from Cape Kennedy's Launch Complex 19 in Florida at 9:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Gemini 3 was powered by a Titan II Gemini launch vehicle. The mission's primary objectives included testing the new spacecraft's maneuverability in orbit and evaluating systems that would be critical for longer future missions. Notably, Grissom executed orbital maneuvers that changed the shape of the craft's path, demonstrating for the first time that astronauts could alter their flight path independently, a crucial capability for future rendezvous and docking missions. Gemini 3 also tested life support systems and environmental controls under crewed conditions. The mission featured the first American astronaut to consume a meal in orbit that was not freeze-dried. John Young famously sneaked a corned beef sandwich aboard, leading to a congressional review over the risk of floating crumbs in zero gravity. Although short in duration, Gemini 3 was technically complex and served as a foundation for later missions. It was the first time NASA used a multi-person capsule with a controlled re-entry profile. The spacecraft landed in the Atlantic Ocean, roughly 50 miles short of the target zone, at 2:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Both Grissom and Young were safely recovered by the USS Intrepid. Gemini 3's success had broad implications. It proved that crewed spacecraft could change orbits, manage life support, and re-enter Earth's atmosphere with greater precision. These achievements were vital precursors to the Apollo missions. The Gemini program ultimately provided NASA with the operational experience necessary to succeed in lunar missions. Gemini 3 also cemented the roles of Grissom and Young as pioneers in spaceflight. Grissom was one of the original Mercury 7 astronauts and became the first human to fly in space twice. Young would go on to command Apollo 16 and later become the 9th person to walk on the moon. Gemini 3's historical significance lies in its proof of concept. It demonstrated that the United States had the technical capacity and operational skill to conduct complex human spaceflight operations. Without Gemini 3, the achievements of Apollo might have been impossible. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history,